What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more r/AmI, the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as it massively helps out our channel, and I cannot express that enough. And just a huge thank you for taking 20 minutes of your time, out of your day to be here. It means the absolute world. And with that being said, let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. And our first story was a request on Twitter from Solitaria, saying, I would absolutely love your opinion on this one. So, let's get involved. This first story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for calling the police on my husband? My husband's car doesn't work and he needs money to get it fixed. He doesn't have enough money. I'm in medicine school and I've been getting ready for my exams for a month now. Every month, he and his friends go on a road trip. His car's been sitting in the garage for 3 months now. He asked if he could take my car to take the guys on a road trip since it was his turn to take them. I told him I need the car since I have a weak immune system and public transportation might be risky and I can't afford to get sick in the middle of my exams. He begs, saying his friends are going to say he ruined the trip and our discussion got nowhere. The trip was last week. I had an exam the day of the trip and left at 8 AM. I had several things to do. I stopped by the coffee shop to use the internet. I arrived at university at 8:30 and entered the hall getting ready for my exam. After I finished, I spent a few minutes with my friends, then I left. I got to the parking lot and my car wasn't there. I started freaking out, thinking I might have left the door open or something. I called my husband, but he didn't pick up. My friends immediately told me to call the police. I ended up waiting for them to ask me about what happened. The officer said I needed to come to the station to give my statement. I stayed there for 4 hours, then I was told my car was found. My husband was driving it and was picked up an hour away from where we live. I was shocked and mad. It never occurred to me that he was the one who took it. I went home and waited till we got back. He was upset and didn't want to talk about what he did. The argument started after he said he made a copy of the key and didn't take it till he made sure I arrived for my exam. I yelled at him and told him it was not okay. He caused me to stress out and worry about the car. He told me calling the police was drastic and I shouldn't have gotten them involved, but I had no idea he took the car. He said he wanted to text me but forgot, said the trip was ruined and that he was embarrassed by being picked up by the police while he was with his friends. He still thinks calling the police was over the top reaction, but what was I supposed to do? One of the things that jumped out to me instantly, and it's because it happened to me, this is before lockdown and stuff, and I had a couple of too many drinks and somehow misplaced my keys somewhere and totally lost them and had to get them replaced, and it cost so much money. And I'm thinking, well, if this guy can't afford to get his car repaired, how's he getting new keys cut? But yes, this behavior is absolutely 100% concerning. 1, getting the keys cut behind your back. 2, sneaking into a car park and stealing your car and then leaving you stranded for his friends. Yeah, I don't think I'd be with someone who done that to me. That's just my opinion. But Full Metal Tata says that not the arsehole and dump him. He stole your car, let you worry, and can afford to go on a trip with his friends but not fix his own car. You deserve better, hun. Go get it. And your humble overlord says not the arsehole. He literally stole your car like a bratty teenager when you told him no. This should make you seriously reevaluate this relationship. And OK Sympathy says, please, for the love of God, make this person your ex-husband soon. If your partner can't even clear the bar of doesn't steal my car and not the arsehole, obviously. And Mum to 2 Cat says, not the arsehole, he copied your key and he stole your car right out of the parking lot. How are you to know the car thief was him? Meanwhile, he left you stranded in a pandemic to party with his buddies. Calling the police was appropriate, so is leaving his selfish, irresponsible ass. And Norbert Wrangler says, not the arsehole, but your title is misleading. You didn't call the police on your husband, you called the police to report that your car had been stolen. The fact that your husband was the one who stole it, it is his fault, not yours. And Just Saying says, not the arsehole. I know Reddit always says to dump your spouse and leave him behind, but in this situation, he stole your car during your exams for a very stressful major. A very serious one as well, as failing can delay graduation for a year plus. He has no regard for you. He has no respect for you. I am really sorry. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? And would you stay with someone like that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And our next story is from I Was Not on Cops 007. Am I the arsehole for not cancelling a cake order? Yes, that is as petty as it sounds. I do love a petty one. My mother-in-law is planning Easter dinner this Sunday. Only our family, sister-in-law and mother-in-law and father-in-law, very small. Only my husband works, the rest work from home, and I homeschool the kids. Onto the story. Mother-in-law called us to ask us to bring something for dinner. She suggested turnip and carrots. We always get stuck with these. I hate turnip. I say yes, but I would like to bring a cake too. There is a delightful German bakery close to my house that we all love. She agreed. I placed an order for carrot cake and chocolate cake. Great, gold, good to go, right? Wrong. Sister-in-law is an immature 43-year-old who cries when she doesn't get her way or calls mum to complain, resulting in me getting a call to see if I give her her way. She has done this on so many occasions, but the last year I've stopped allowing her and stood up for myself a lot. DH always has my back, but he never does the planning. I do, so this stuff is usually up to me. Cue to today, and sister-in-law calls me saying, Mum says you're bringing a cake to dinner. Why? And she does this laugh, which I despise. There's nothing left for me to bring. What am I going to do? I let her know it's ordered and she says, oh my god, I hate carrot cake. No one likes carrot cake. Actually, sister-in-law, carrot is my favourite and father-in-law also enjoys it. Remember those 3 times you said you'd make it for me and then made a whipped cream fruitcake that I couldn't eat because I'm lactose intolerant? I'll wait for a response. She does a laugh, then asks me to cancel the order so she can make a cake. Every time I try to bring something to dinner, she one-ups me, or she will say, I usually make this but mine's better, to which everyone agrees so she doesn't throw a fit. I won't back down and say, no sorry, it's been ordered. I offer to let her bring turnip and carrots. She says, ooh no, that's what you bring. I suggest a few other items and I'm met with a no. Just cancel the order, I'll make a cake. Again, I won't budge. She says, fine, I'm making cupcakes to bring, the kids will like those better. I wanted to scream but I calmly said fine, do what you want but I'm still bringing the cakes. I told my 3 kids, stay away from the cupcakes and I'll give you $5 each. Am I the arsehole? This is a very, very petty one, and that is why I love it. But I will say not the arsehole, just because I can be a petty arse too. And I did love the bribe. However, word of warning, and you probably know this already, that kids, they blab at littlest things, so they could make you look like a right arse in this situation. If they slip up and they say that you give them $5 to not eat the cupcakes, it could reverse itself on you. That's my only warning. Not that I'm saying I'm against it in any way, but you need to make sure those kids are 100% on board. But that sister-in-law sounds insufferable. I don't know how you put up with it, and fair play to you for not enabling her behavior to continue like everyone else does. Keep doing you, because you need to lay down those boundaries. And we'll start straight away with Hourly Albert saying, lol, the bribe was genius, not the arsehole. And Queen Oreo replies to this saying, I'd make it $10 just to be sure and give them a day off of chores or something if they talk with their mouths full about how much they love carrot cake and don't really care about cupcakes. And Min's Ano says, not the arsehole, but I would not bribe them to not eat the cupcake. I'd bribe them to eat one and be like, ew, this tastes like cardboard. And Ezzy May says, not the arsehole, your sister-in-law is just too used to having her way, and here now you all have a 43-year-old baby on your hands. Maybe she should bring her own diapers. Lol, I'm laughing at the bribe. That's great. And OP replies to this saying, sister-in-law gets everything handed to her, always has. She was in low-income housing when I first got together with husband 9 years ago and refused to work more, so she wouldn't lose out on her $98 a month rent. There were people who actually needed that house more than her. She's just lazy. We go on family vacations every year, rent a big cottage and all stay a week. The past 6 years she's paid for her and her adult daughter one time. My husband and I struggled for a few years when he started his own business and still managed to pay for our trips. Their mum, actually father-in-law, pays for it all. They're quite wealthy and mother-in-law just wants everyone to get along, so she pays. There is way more, but it's almost midnight and I'm beat. Thanks for responding. And Power Smith says, not the arsehole for not cancelling the cakes. For one thing, the baker probably started on them, and it is inconsiderate as a customer to cancel a cake on the same day you're picking it up. Info, so how did it go? Did people enjoy the cakes? And I guess we have to wait till Sunday till we get that update, so I will keep an eye out for that one because I want to see how it goes. Now, what do you guys think of this one, and how would you react if sister-in-law was acting this way? Would you enable the behavior to keep the peace, or would you deal with it like OP is? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And our next story is from Sarah Soul 77. Am I the arsehole for walking out after how my in-laws responded to my pregnancy announcement? My issues with my in-laws are a bit more complicated than anything else I've ever dealt with. My sister-in-law has 2 daughters, 5 and 7. I used to babysit for her most of the time. She showed major signs of neglect and lack of love and care for the girls. The girls' dental care and hygiene was neglected. Education was neglected and my sister-in-law spent little to no time with the girls. From the way they hugged me, I could tell they weren't getting enough affection and care. The girls are close to my husband / their uncle. He did all he could to help his sister, but he was criticised for being worried about the girls. His sister got involved in troubles, authorities got involved, and the girls were temporarily placed in our custody. My husband wanted to adopt them after his sister was no longer able to care for the girls. My in-laws declined and suggested that we all take turns in caring for the girls and that they belong to their mother. We ended up adopting them. It was an exhausting process, emotionally, physically, financially draining. My in-laws were mad and called my husband a bad brother, accused him of awful things, called him a thief, and said that we went after the girls because we can't have children of our own. We went low contact for over a year. Then we made amends. Mother-in-law loves her grandkids and wants to be in their life. Everyone has so far been respectful to me and my husband. His older sister throws comments, but I ignore her. I'm currently pregnant. My husband was thrilled to tell his family. We were invited for dinner. We made the announcement at the dinner table. My older sister-in-law smirked and said, "Great," then asked when me and my husband are going to give the girls back to their mum, now that we'll be having kids on our own, since this is the reason we took the girls in the first place. Said that I will be too busy with my biological to care for my nieces. I was so mad. The girls were right next to my husband and heard this. I argued with my sister-in-law, mother-in-law got involved. My husband didn't react at all. I got ready and walked out with the girls while he just kept staring at his sister. They then started arguing. Everyone thought I mishandled it and made it worse. Now this is a clear not the arsehole situation. It's one of these ones that, oh man, it just gets me. It just brings tears to the eyes when you know there's children involved and what they must be going through, you know, what they've been going through up to that point before they was adopted, and they finally get some stability back in their life and, you know, some comfort and some love. And then in-laws and sisters are doing this. They're traumatizing the girls further. Whether they're just blind to see it or not, you are absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. You are doing what's best for the girls in this situation, and that's what you need to do. You need to continue doing that and probably go no contact at this point because, you know, you gave them a chance once already and they've burned their bridges again. And it's just not fair on the children. So well done to you for looking out for those girls' well-being, and to your husband too. Let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. And we'll start off with Saluki Queen saying, "Not the arsehole, looks like it's time to go no contact and cut them out completely." And Dina says, "Not the arsehole. 1. If you adopted the girls, they aren't your nieces, they're your daughters. Get that straight. Adopting relatives is incredibly difficult, so for the court to agree to it, the biological parents had to really mess up. 2. You need to change how you talk about them around the family, if you continue to talk to them at all. They're your daughters in the exact same way that the child you are carrying now is. If they can't accept that, go low to no contact. I'm hung up on this because I am adopted, and it would suck to have my parents say that I'm not the same as my brother, who is biologically theirs. If they're going to act like this, it may be time for a timeout from his family. They don't get to treat you all like this because someone else messed up." And Rice Correct says, "Not the arsehole, what an awful scenario. You are clearly a great mother to them. Realising your sister-in-law's comments were horribly inappropriate, and especially so right in front of the girls, and removing them. I don't even understand how they think you mishandled anything. This is so bizarre." An American Girl says, "Not the arsehole, removing the children from a combative situation was the right thing to do. They don't need to be exposed to adult conflicts, especially those involving them. You did the right thing." And Kat Lur says, "Of course not the arsehole. Parental love isn't a pie, it doesn't have limits, and your nieces getting a new nibbling won't affect how much they are loved in the least. They are old enough that they might worry that you and your husband won't want them anymore, but I presume you're in some kind of family counselling, which would be an excellent place to help the girls express their fears and be reassured that they are yours forever. You've adopted them, you're their legal parents, and there is no going back because you are their forever family. End of story. Furthermore, you didn't steal your nieces. You and your husband provided a safe and loving home when their biological parents couldn't/wouldn't. They had many chances to turn their lives around and be the parents their daughters deserved, but they didn't. The feelings of adults are far less important than the rights of the girls to have a safe, loving home, so fuck everyone else's feelings. The girls are all that matter." And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation and how would you deal with it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And our next story comes from Am I the Arsehole Mother-in-Law Woes. Am I the arsehole for not adjusting my daily run/walk schedule to accommodate for my mother-in-law showing up unexpectedly and telling her she should call ahead? I struggle with mental health issues and like to keep a specific routine. One of the things I do is that every single morning at 6 AM I get out of bed and either go for a walk or a run. The only exception is bad weather, and if that happens, I have a workout I'll do instead. The walk run is between 5 to 8 miles. I've done this every single day with minimal exceptions for the past several years. This was started as a recommendation from my therapist and is something we both agree is a huge help for me. I'm unable to take medications to manage my issues, so I have to do whatever else I can. I take it as seriously as I would taking meds. My mother-in-law is typically nice and easy to get along with, but clingier than I can handle. If she had her way, she would call every single week, go visit her every other week, etc. It's annoying, but whatever. Well, last week, she decided to just show up in the afternoon to drag us out for a quick hike. We went along with it, but because of the long drive back, she demanded to stay overnight. We let it slide, but when I got up to go at 6 AM for my walk, she tried to stop me and told me that she was making breakfast and that I needed to wait. I told her no, I'm heading out, I'll be back in an hour or so. She kept pushing, saying she was a guest and was here to visit us, so I should spend time with her. I said that I will when I get back. We went back and forth on this for a little bit until I finally snapped and said, listen, this is what happens when you don't call ahead to make plans to visit us. I'm not going to change up my life because you couldn't be bothered to call ahead. I left my run and felt better. My husband was annoyed at me when I got back and said his mum was in tears and took off back home and that I should have just stuck around. I said I know how she operates, and yeah, it starts out as breakfast, but then she'll want to sit around and talk and talk and talk. Then she'll want to go for a stroll around the shops, then probably lunch and more talking. Mother-in-law vague posted about me on Facebook, saying that she wishes young people understood how important family is, and all this flowery mum, grandma Facebook posting crap. It seems my sister-in-law, husband's sister, knew about what happened because she commented with a corny sad face and said, they'll understand someday, mum. Am I the arsehole really? Should I have just blown my whole routine out of the water and messed up my entire day weekend because she couldn't be bothered to call ahead? And it's one of those ones that we learn time and time again. If you're going to visit someone, call ahead. It's not that bloody difficult. You turn up and then you demand someone's attention because you're a guest. That's absolutely arsehole-ish behaviour. Even if it wasn't like sort of to do with mental health or anything like that and you just wanted to go for a run, you're totally entitled to do so without having to hang around for someone who just showed up at your bloody door. So absolutely not the arsehole in my opinion. But Cheese and Carb says, not the arsehole. I hate when people pull the I'm a guest BS. That doesn't mean you get to upend my entire life. It would have been different if she talked about it the night before. And Stan B says, not the arsehole. If it were really about family, as your mother-in-law said in her Facebook post, your needs would be as important as hers. Clearly they're not, so it's really about your mother-in-law's narcissism. And Siamese Cat says, not the arsehole, you were gone for about an hour from 6 to 7 AM. The fact that she burst into tears and fled the house because you said no to breakfast at that hour is insane. Was your husband even up? What if you didn't wake up at that time? Why can't she hold off her breakfast? She kept pushing you when it would have been a simple, I'm going for a run for about an hour. And she said, oh well, I was going to make breakfast now, I cannot wait an hour. And you say, I'm sorry, but I'd appreciate if you just wait an hour for breakfast because I need this run to better function for the day ahead. And during this day, we can be together. And then you leave because she understands. Your response was very understandable because I do not know why she was pushing this. It's not as if she already made breakfast and it was going to get cold. And Vodka Soda Sandwich, says, not the arsehole at all. Mother-in-law behaved like a jerk. Even if your runs were not part of your mental health care, it's rude to spring a visit on someone and expect to manipulate their time the way your mother-in-law did. And sister-in-law needs to mind her own business. You did absolutely nothing wrong, and your husband was a jerk about it too. He should have backed you up and not blamed you for mother-in-law's bullshit. It sounds like he's used to appeasing his mum no matter what, just to keep the peace, and thinks you're now obligated to do the same. He's wrong. And Soyboy Dom says, not the arsehole for this particular situation, but I do think your definition of clingy is too harsh. I try to call my parents at least once a week, and if I lived in the same town as them, I would certainly try to see them once or twice a month, or more, without issue. They aren't clingy, but we love each other and enjoy seeing and talking to each other on a regular basis. I don't think those are unreasonable standards for parents to hope if they have a good relationship with their kid. If she lives far away, I could see not wanting to visit so frequently, but I still don't think a phone call once a week counts as clingy. That being said, showing up unannounced and expecting you to change your plans for her without zero warning is still super rude. You are not the arsehole for being upset, as she was way out of line, but you probably could have gotten a better outcome. Instead of just snapping, you had more calmly expressed that your routine is really important to you, and if she would like to reschedule your plans to spend time with her, she should just ask, not tell you ahead of time. ETA, you should also have a longer conversation with your husband about this. Your needs are important and he needs to have your back when his mother is not respecting them. It's not okay for her to show up without warning and get mad when you don't want to change the plans you already had in place, and it's your husband's job to set that boundary with her. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation and how would you deal with it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, once again, guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for spending 20 minutes out of your day with the channel and getting involved. You know, it still blows my mind to see the same people like a year later since we started doing Am I the Arsehole posts, and I still see the same people commenting and getting involved with the channel. I cannot express how much it means to me. It really does mean the world. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being you. You are absolutely amazing. Please do not forget that, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.